Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Boohead Radio. I'm your host, the Big and Furry Bovine. How is everybody doing? Uh,
No.
Bronk was saying my camera looks kind of weird. I don't know. I'm a
Like,
little bit red because I've been walking outside, and we're up to 85 degrees, and the sun is hot. That
wow.
might have something to do with something, but and I'm also still fighting this laryngitis and allergy thing because the allergies here in Northeast Ohio are were started at a record early date and the highest
Wow.
that they have been. So,
Wow. So Dick Guard's all over that, huh?
all the rain has just, but you can see the yellow powder on the hoods of cars in
Oh,
our
right.
neighborhood. I mean, it's really like big time, like Florida gets it when it rains all the time. It's
Right.
big.
Is that like rapeseed oil? Is that rapeseed? Could
Uh,
be. I'm
I,
not sure what they call that in rapeseed in America, but
uh, uh, I think it's what is the genus name of that? Something Deshaun Watsonassus or something like that.
brassica napus.
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
So, a lot to talk about today. I want to start the program with this so that you know that I'm not fucking around. All
Well, you
right.
know.
The world goes on, and we sit here, and nobody listens to this program,
No, they
but
don't.
private meeting going on between the Cleveland Cavaliers and JB Bickerstaff as we speak. But don't
Wow.
ask me how I know. But when you find out the result, you'll know.
You'll
Okay.
know. You'll know.
I'm sick and tired of people just making shit up and all that. I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But the bottom line is, it's a happening.
It's a
Uh,
happening.
well, I mean, one way or another, this thing has to be resolved. And that is what's going on in Cleveland Cavalier news. Actually, besides the fact that I feel like shit, very, very happy weekend for me because Alexander Usyk beat Tyson Fury.
He did. I saw that. I actually saw that fight because it was on a normal time for me at midnight. And did you see the cruiserweight fight before that? That was a
No, I did
bloody
not.
mess.
I just saw the
Oh my
heavyweight
god.
fight.
That was a
And,
mess, that was.
I'll tell you honestly, the message that I get from Usyk beating Tyson Fury is Usyk is a guy who's 37 years old, who
Yep.
started out as a cruiserweight at around 200 pounds,
And he ain't much bigger, really. He's only
and
like 220.
he gained. No, he was up at 243 for the fight.
Really? I thought it was 220, but anyway.
No, 243, and Tyson Fury was at 262, and everyone was saying, "Oh, Tyson Fury's in good shape." Tyson Fury's 35 years
Yeah.
old. I've watched him in his professional career. Never been impressed. I think he's just overly sold on himself, and
Correct.
I'm so sick of what I call the Tyson Fury and Jake Paul, let's infuriate everybody kind of look at me, I'm Sandra D approach. Why
Yeah.
don't you get good at what the fuck you do instead of just shooting your mouth off? And Tyson Fury, of course, after the fight, say, "I think I won that fight. I think I did." And and it's like, fuck you. The bottom line is that Nagano knocked you down in your last fight,
Yep.
and you don't even have a good chin anymore because a
No.
cruiserweight just puts you out. And the referee saved Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but Fury sort of came back after that. But Usyk definitely won the fight. But I could have seen it go to a draw.
Oh, I
It
could
was
have
a pretty
seen
close fight. It
in
was,
Saudi Arabia. Fuck, I could see
yeah, anything could have happened.
the sheikhs just saying, that is the winner of their Tyson Fury, and that would have been the fight.
Yeah, that could have happened. I mean, he's just a 6'9", mouthy, you know, tubby guy. He don't have a lot of skill. So
Yeah, and Amsterdam is now joining in on the cam thing, which
yeah,
means that
there is something going on.
Well, nothing I can do about it, so just enjoy the ride.
Well, I got a comment about the Cavs very quickly about I have an outlandish prediction. Maybe
Right.
they'll bring in LeBron James as player coach. Wouldn't that be something?
Would it be something if they hired Rick Edelman?
Rick Edelman. How
I
about
would just say, would that be something? But Alexander Usyk is a guy who doesn't have one punch knockout power. And when a
no?
guy is caught up on the ropes, a referee can step in to stop the fight, but
Yeah,
he can't just step in and save a fighter. You can't do that.
correct.
And
Yeah.
Fury's legs were gone, but he was being held up
Oh,
by the
he was
strands.
dead. He
Yeah,
was dead.
and had they let Usyk finish what he started, he'd have been knocked out cold and beaten to death, which I
Correct.
was kind of halfway hoping for. But then afterwards, I said to myself, you know something?
Self.
Tyson Fury is finished. He's
Yeah,
done.
he's done.
The only thing that he had going for him was like the thing they remember most in his career is how he got up after getting hit by oh geez, why I'm losing names now. Deontay Wilder.
Wilder, yeah.
He hit him with clocked him with a perfect right, and
And he got up.
yeah, and he got up. That's what he's famous for. He's a bum. Tyson Fury
totally
is
is.
a bum. He doesn't have any training. He's a bum. He's fat. He's a bum. He had his trunks all the way up to his nipples. He's a bum.
Correct.
And another thing is the only punch that worked for him the entire fight was an uppercut because
Yep.
the shorter arm guy with a 7-inch reach advantage or disadvantage had to try to get in close. And I'll say this about Usyk, he fought the wrong kind of fight.
Yeah.
If you got to get inside a guy's long arms or else he'll octopus you. And that's all that Fury does.
Yeah,
He holds, he hugs, he mugs, and then he says he won the fight. But the thing is, there's an automatic October 12th trigger for a rematch, so there will be a rematch. And if I'm Usyk, I go out there and I knock him out in 3 rounds. Tyson Fury is finished as a fighter. He's done. He shouldn't fight anymore. And there's a reason why I'm saying this. It's not just because I don't like him, because I don't like him. It's because from the first time he got hit, he grabbed his nose like a little pussy. That's the first thing. But the thing that I notice now about him, every time he gets hit in the head, his eyes like
flare out. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
And it looks like the guy's like thoroughly concussed. He's going to die in the ring if they don't get him the fuck out of there. And
yeah, he's going to be stupid in about 5 years. I mean,
yeah, and the same thing is what I said when I saw Antonio Tarver knock out Roy Jones Jr. I said, a guy goes down like that and he stays down, he best stay down.
Yeah.
And from that fight forward, Roy Jones got beaten like a little rag doll. And he got knocked out so many times, culminating in the Lebedev fight. If you've never seen Roy Jones in Russia fighting Lebedev, that is the scariest knockout of all that ended everything for Roy Jones. I'd like to see the last of Tyson Fury on October the 12th. And if I'm Usyk, I go out there and I just clock him early. He can't take a punch anymore. He's got nothing left. So that's one reason I'm happy. This is another reason I'm happy. Amsterdam says that Ramon Laureano has been sent down. Yes, they brought up another fellow who's the number 16 prospect, Jonathan Rodriguez.
Great name.
Leading power hitter in the minor leagues for the Guardians. And I just decided, hey, I'm going to look up some stats on this guy, and I apologize for my voice. Nothing I can do. Allergy season.
Well, I actually saw the ending of the game yesterday, and I quite enjoyed it. So maybe I'm about ready to join the Guardian bandwagon. I'm going to hold off yet for another few weeks, but.
Yeah, Rodriguez is 24 years old, all right? But he's like most power hitters, they have to mature a little bit before they really become power hitters. And this guy was really not doing a whole hell of a lot when he first started out in single A ball in 2017 and 2018. Then he was still in 2019 in A ball, and then in 2021, he played for 2 teams in the minors, and this is where things started getting better for him. He played in the Class A and then the A plus leagues, and he started hitting for a little more power, a lot more power actually. But he was dangling around even in 2021, only 7-8 home runs. All right.
Wow. Well, Jim Thome was a bit like that when he came up. He was sort of like a banjo third baseman kind of hitter.
Steroids helped him along. Then all of a sudden,
maybe allegedly,
in 2022, he was still playing at high A ball, and they moved him up to the Double-A Akron team. And that year in 2022, he had a combined 26 home runs.
Wow, that's a lot.
And so now he does strike out, but who doesn't?
I strike out a lot. So
with women, and 2023 in 2023, he started out in Double-A, hit 18 home runs. Then he hit 11 more in the same year, 2023 at Columbus. He hit 29 last year. This year so far, 7 in Columbus. And we've seen enough, and we're going to bring him up. So, yeah, I'm happy about that too, Amsterdam. Not because Laureano got shipped down at 29. Laureano just hasn't been able to figure out a way around this.
Oh, I got a special topic that I want to discuss. Well, you're probably going to get to it anyway, but we need to bring in Peter Alice to discuss old Scotty. I ran over a police officer at the PGA.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later because there's I really don't care about golf. It's like
I don't either, but
he's stupid. The police lie, and what you have is what you have, and it's the same old story. So. Yeah, the next reason that I was really happy was because the league NBA physically could not cheat for the Knicks.
They couldn't do it, huh? I missed it. So what happened?
The Pacers in the first half shot almost 80% from the floor.
Okay, that's hard to cheat.
Pacers just made everything they threw up, whether it was from 2, from 3. Get this. The Pacers won by 21 points.
Wow.
All right. Yet they were
Knicks had 50 free throws.
Right. They were outscored by 13 at the line.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. They still won by 21. Yeah. Unbelievable. And they just couldn't miss. Wow. I mean, for the game, I mean, they just it's crazy. They shot 67.1% for the game.
That's nuts.
I mean, they hit 68% of their free throws and 67% of their shots. I mean, 54% from 3 points. I mean, and guys who had no business doing it. It was right across the board. It wasn't just one guy. If you would have said, well, Halliburton went off. Well, he did. He had 26 points. But look at this. Siakam had 20. Nesmith had 19. Turner had 17. Nembhard had 20. Halliburton had 26. Yep. And TJ McConnell had 12. And it's crazy stuff. I mean, and that made me happy as hell because of what I said about Tom Thibodeau in the last program.
Yeah.
You ain't never going to get shit from Tom Thibodeau except injuries. And in this game, Jalen Brunson fractured his hand.
Wow.
trying to strip a guy on a fast break. He swatted down
Yank.
and fractured his own hand.
Wow.
Just like that, as Carrie Bradshaw would say. And the bottom line is the Knicks choked. And the reason, because Spike Lee was there.
Spike Lee is a Janus, man.
Yeah, oh my God. And as long as Stephen A. Smith and Spike Lee are there,
you're dead. You're dead.
You're dead.
The worst one's Mick Jagger. If Mick Jagger ever shows up supporting your team,
Niedermeyer, dead man.
Yeah, Niedermeyer.
Yeah. So that just thrilled me to no great end. And then I had more happiness watching Jokic look more like Joker and losing. They decided in the second half, we're ahead by 20 points, so we don't have to do a whole hell of a lot, and Minnesota came back from a 20-point deficit and wiped them out. And that was the end of that.
Oh, so can we have like a Minnesota Indiana final? That would be hilarious.
Well, I mean,
no one would fucking watch it, would they?
Perchance to dream. But it was something to behold, watching the Timberwolves just take them out, and Jokic playing all but 1 minute of the game, so exhausted that he literally that he was hoisting up threes at the end and bricking them all. He looked like shit, and that to me makes me real happy. That's your MVP.
He's like the Tyson Fury of basketball, Jokic. I'm sorry, but he's just 6'9", 10, whatever, in the goof.
It's incredible. In 22 minutes, they were outscored by let me get this right.
Ooh.
28 points.
Wow.
I mean,
in their home court too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
he was in Denver, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it is a payback for John Elway. Fuck Horsemouth.
Fuck Horsemouth. Fuck John Elway.
And then their coach was Michael Malone. He said, "That's what's hard, not Jokic's dick. It's hard losing."
Wow.
Yep. They dropped the first two of the series at home. They won the next three, and they looked to be right back online for the championship. And it's like, no. Even with this bad throat, Topaz came through with a big no. Yep. Just unbelievable. The Timberwolves went on a 54-24 run. That's not a run. That's a fucking stampede.
That's a beatdown. That is like Pampona and the Bulls, man. That is the BCOD, if I may dare say.
So, and I don't have anything against Brunson. It's not like I have individual issues, but there wasn't a Knicks player who did shit. I mean, Hartenstein was getting pushed around. Brunson, when he was in, was like 6 for 17 from the floor and played like shit. And the whole team, was crippled up thanks to Tom Thibodeau. Yeah. And, and if you didn't tune into the beginning of the show, the Cavaliers front office is meeting as we speak with JB Bickerstaff. All right. What they're saying, I don't know. Don't ask me. But when you find out, you'll say, how did that fat fuck in Ohio know that? And I'm like, no, I'm just guessing, It's Topaz's snout. He has a magical snout, and he can,
He's the magic wolf.
Yep, and he whispers into my ear.
Puff the magic wolf.
And so that's but Thibodeau, and there's no way that Donovan Mitchell is going to play for Tom Thibodeau.
No
way.
No.
So the agent, if he was mad at JB for consecutive minutes, you ain't seen nothing until you're on the suicide mission with Thibodeau. Everywhere he's gone, he's destroyed people. A little bit of sad news. Jim Otto,
Jim
Mr.
Otto
Raider.
dead. Yes, he's dead.
But 86,
Yep,
he was 86th.
he's
But
86th.
the fact is, I don't know what he died from. The cause of death not immediately known. But boy, he was 15 seasons, and he outlived Mike Webster.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, but
And also, Ivan Boesky died today, but that's
did he really?
story. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead as well, and
Holy
all of his junk bonds are buried with him.
Yeah, well, that's
So there you go.
yeah.
He's
So
about the only person to ever go to jail for all that shit that went on in the 80s. So there you go.
as far as the Browns are concerned, they're hiring Chris Polian as a special advisor. So they're,
Is that like how not to do things, like how not to do it the Commander's way?
yeah, Chris Polian has been around for a while, and they just want another veteran, advisor
Scout
in
or
place.
whatever.
Yeah,
We're sort of veteran advisors. Why don't we get paid?
we're veteran, but we're not advisors. But Polian's timeline before this, he was director of pro personnel with the Washington football team. Then 2013 and 19, director of pro personnel, Jacksonville. Two great organizations there, Washington and Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Con.
Oh, quick comment about Jacksonville. They managed do the con voice again if you can.
I can't. No.
Anyway, he managed to con Jacksonville into building them a new stadium, probably dangling the fact that he was going to move to London if they didn't build one. So they're getting a brand new super duper stadium in Jacksonville. So 5 people will be able to have luxury accommodation when they go to the games. It's amazing. So no team in London. Well, it won't be them. Maybe Cleveland will move.
So. That is correct. He is Bill Polian's son. And I thought that Polian was cured. Who was the guy?
Jonas Salk.
Jonas Salk cured Polian, I thought.
Correct. Polian, yes. Yeah. Bad disease. You walk around with crutches all the time.
Yeah. And you end up in Jacksonville in Washington.
Yeah, Jacksonville, yeah.
So that, now the Guardians, as we speak, coming up at the top of the hour, 10 after 6, will be playing the Mets with their superstar Francisco Lindor,
who hasn't done dick for about 3 years.
He's hitting 198 this year. Maybe the familiarity of the surroundings in Cleveland will help him out, but not real good. Not real good. And the thing that's interesting is we gave the position to Andres Jimenez, and everyone said, you're making a mistake getting rid of Lindor. You're making a mistake. But, the bottom line is $341 million. And for a guy who never hit well in the postseason in Cleveland.
Wow. No, he did. He went away. He went away more than Jared Allen went away during the playoffs.
Yeah. And you put him in front of New York, he's got $340 million, $341 million, and he's, not produced the way they expected him to produce. So, you can watch the Guardians play it. As far as what you were talking about earlier, the game yesterday ends a 3-game series in which, if I were the Twins, I'd be looking long and hard at their manager. Long and hard at their manager. I mean, he couldn't accept gifts.
God, man,
I mean, Rocco Baldelli was aborted as a player because of injuries, and brain injuries might cost him his job in Minnesota twice. I don't understand. I mean, first of all, the brain farting by the Guardians in the 9th inning deprived Clase of yet another save. And it's not Clase's fault, except that he couldn't catch the toss from Naylor. But still, the man should not have scored from third, except Naylor brain farted. And instead of just running the ball toward home plate and making sure the guy went back to third, he throws it to third, and Buxton takes off and scores. I mean, it was like little league stuff, man. Come on. But they bring Duran in, and he looked more like Roberto Duran. I mean, the last
he looked more like Duran.
That's true. He had already earlier in the first game of the series come in and allowed a walk-off home run. Yeah. And, he's got a 100 to 102 mile an hour fastball.
And he throws his batting practice curveball
or a slider. It was a hanger.
Dry or whatever. Yeah.
No, well, and then Brennan.
Wilbur Brennan.
Yeah, Walter Brennan could have hit that. Brennan, I mean, even. That thing just hung down and in, right in his power zone.
Yeah. It looked like he fouled that ball all the way onto his bat. It was going so slowly. He was able to middle it,
Yeah, and just made it over the wall. And so there you have it. Ball game. And the Twins look like from the very first game, when they put Duran in the 8th inning instead of the 9th inning for the save, if they were going to get it at that point, they brought him in early, which was a way of the manager saying, "I don't believe in my bullpen.
I don't trust anybody. Yeah,
I don't have a setup guy." And then to make matters worse, they got clobbered the next day, and he brings in Willie Castro, the infielder, to throw an inning. Because he doesn't want to, I don't know what he's got going with the bullpen, but it can't be very good. And then he brings back Duran, and that's what happens.
I mean, they brought up Castro from Cuba just to pitch that one inning.
Absolutely. Just
the cigar going.
So, I was shaking my head. It's like, you want to talk about backdooring your way into a win. I mean, right after committing the most blunder-filled inning you could imagine, they still won. And the Twins were sitting there like, well, what's it going to take? And it's like,
wow.
New manager.
Wow.
At any rate, so now the Guardians are one of two teams with 30 or more wins, along with the New York Yankees. But nobody knows it because the New York Yankees get all the publicity.
Correct.
Nothing new there. And I'm not saying the Guardians are going to continue doing this, but
do you think I should go on the Guardian bandwagon, or should I just?
Oh, why the hell not? They're overperforming, and they're overcoming situations, injuries to pitchers. Gavin Williams has went down.
Great name.
Yeah, and of course Bieber went down. And they're overcoming this. And they're bringing up people, and they're finally doing things like getting rid of guys like Laureano and going to try young power hitters. They're trying to integrate younger players into the lineup. David Fry, who's never been a power hitter in his career and never hit more than 270 in the minor leagues, he's suddenly gotten off to this great start. And right now, there's a good vibe on the team.
Okay.
So, yeah. Get on the bandwagon.
All right, I'll get on the bandwagon.
But understand that, things.
I'll be ready to hop off at any point.
No, that I don't know how long this can continue. But Christopher Milton, that player whose name I have forgotten, he had the one big year the year before in Cleveland, but he was swinging everything, and he lost complete identity of where the strike zone was. Who picked him up? He's nowhere is what it amounts to. What's Oscar's last name, Amsterdam?
Oscar Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's his name.
Oscar Gonzalez.
Where's he now, Bronk?
Cool. Yes, tough questions. Oh,
because I'm,
he
I
was with the Yankees, and he broke his right orbital.
oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, just in March.
Oh, so he
So yeah,
hasn't played at all this year.
doesn't look like it. No,
Wow. All right.
no,
Well,
he's hurt.
yeah, the Guardians were done with him because and maybe it's just that he's not serious about, whatever. He had a big hit, in the playoff game, and he had a real great start to his career, and then the following year he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. In that sad? All I can see, Rick, with you is
the fro.
batting, if the fro and batting gloves in his back pocket.
Yeah,
Eh, we're all getting old.
we're very old.
I'm sorry about my voice, folks, but I'm just toughing it through this.
But Jim Otto is not getting any older because he's dead. So there you go.
Who is?
We're all, Jim Otto's dead, so he isn't getting any older.
Yeah,
Just that
he took his
he,
final snap.
he took his
Uh,
last.
uh, Meanwhile, Chase DeLauder is trying to work his way back to hitting on the field uh, after this foot fracture that they thought was going to need surgery, but then it doesn't, and who knows. So they've decided not to do surgery on him. So
Yeah,
Stephen Kwan suffered a
dead.
hamstring
Niedermeyer.
May 4th. They were talking 4 weeks to come back, and he's on time. He took batting practice on Friday and Saturday, and he took part in some high-speed running drills, which means
Ooh,
that he's further along than Nick Chubb. And he shows no further symptoms of the injury, but they're being careful with him. But they're still winning without him. That's the
correct.
amazing thing. And he's, the hope is that within the next 7 to 10 days, he could start a rehab assignment, in the minor leagues, and then come up and get back on board. Gavin Williams out since mid-March with elbow soreness. He's going to throw another bullpen session on Monday. Today, Antonetti said that he's scheduled to throw 30 to 40 pitches. He said rehab games could be on the horizon in the next couple of weeks. I don't even know if Gavin Williams is going to make it. And Tyler Freeman made a hell of a catch in center field yesterday. If you didn't watch the game,
I
really.
didn't see that bit. When was that?
Oh my God.
Was that quite early?
Yeah, it was early in the game.
Yeah, that's why I didn't
He
see it.
left his feet and
Ooh,
caught a ball going over his head.
wow. So he didn't like Lonnie Chisenhall it and watch it bounce in front of him and bounce over his
No,
head
I
and
mean,
go off the wall.
even though Tyler Freeman isn't going to beat anybody with his bat, neither was Miles Straw, but it looks like this guy is at least developing his defensive game in center field. So there's that. The fact that Tristan McKenzie actually is starting to throw more innings is good. The problem with Dr. Sticks is that the good news in his last 6 starts, 1-1 with a 2.1 earned run average. That's really good. And the Guardians are 5-1 in those outings. But his control, he's got to work somehow on the mental side and mechanical side of his game, because when he loses control of his fastball way up in the strike zone, he tends to break down from a mechanical perspective. So, and that's right. His velocity is only at 91 right now.
Wow.
And that, it doesn't bode well. So we'll see,
No.
Ben Lively is pitching tonight, and he's been a surprise with a 3.06 earner on average and a 2-2 record. How long that can continue? That's right. Dr. Six was 92 to 95, and now he's down at 91. And he's, like Cookie Carrasco at this point. I don't know. You're trying to get by on breaking balls and all that stuff. I don't know. Gonna be tough. Gonna be tough for him. And
Yeah.
he looks like a good gust of wind would take him away anyway. So I'm trying to get all this out of the way so I can get off the air, because I am like, and the worst part of it is Topaz shares this with me, and he is like a fur bus full of pollen.
Wow.
And so this is where he sleeps, and this is the worst room in the house for me.
Oh, right. So he gathers it all in his fur, huh?
Oh yeah, well sure. He's got a massive coat, and it's
Big coat.
and I'm brushing him out, and I'm
Oh.
that way. Yep.
Oh, dog dander and everything.
Gotta do what you gotta
Yeah.
do, though. You know, I love
Wow.
Topaz. So
I love Topaz too. He's a great dog.
hopefully, this will calm down as the pollen calms down. But the rest of the week is going to be high, and it doesn't appear to be going anywhere. So you're going to have to live with this version of me, and it means no character voices, nothing.
No, not even Peter Alice.
No. As far as well, I probably wait a second. I'm sorry. It's this fucking pollen. Oh, I wish it would just go away. Oh, you know, I could sound like Barry White. Yeah, I got this. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, baby. Your donation to the United Negro College Fund.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
That is right. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, I remember.
Tony the Calf's in the chat room.
The first night I met you at El Jalapenos restaurant in Barberton, Ohio, baby, baby. I had 6 deep fried chimichangas. Yeah.
Very nice.
So there's no way around it. I bought an air purifier like I have in Florida for the master bedroom, so at least I'm getting cleaner air, so I'm sleeping all right. But still, when I wake up in the morning, all the post-nasal drip goes down your throat.
Oh, nobody likes that.
Hacking up. But okay, we'll do for you, because that's not too straining a voice. Oh, Scott Shoufley. First of all, I wanted to say he couldn't wait in traffic. Correct. He had his routine, and he decided to drive on a median. That's not the smartest thing to do.
No.
But at the same time, what in the hell was the policeman doing, trying to hold on to the side of the vehicle to stop him from driving?
Yeah, that's always going to work.
Why did I think he had watched reruns of The Fall Guy? Oh, Lee majoring his way through the police academy. Oh, and then to find out that none of them conveniently had any kind of body cam on.
Wow.
So none of it was recorded. Oh, yeah.
Well,
they got a name, and who's an idiot, and the guy had no business. You should have waited and just turned. He was only 10 to 20 yards away from turning in to the driveway of the country club, for God's sakes.
Wow.
So, yeah, but it was nice to see somebody else get busted besides Tiger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was warmed the cockles of my heart.
Well, normally, if a policeman wants you to stop and they're hanging onto your car, normally they just get their gun out and start shooting at you. I mean, why didn't that happen?
I don't know. And here's another thing. You want to see how fickle people are. It's like, oh, in the spotlight, the pairings. Tiger Woods. It's like the guy was 17 over last round. Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, you're going to watch him hit 14 more bogeys and double bogeys. Oh, it is like, God. Yeah, Tony, that's Paul Blart Mall Cop. Isn't
Mall
that
cop
the
stopped
extent
it.
of it? Yeah,
Wow.
that's great. Uh,
Wow.
Travis, what are they doing? Asshole Bickerstaff should have been fired the minute after the Boston series. Just be patient.
All things will come to those who wait. But anyway. So
God.
where's Tony must be working, otherwise he'd be telling us about those Timberwolves.
I heard the fireman wore a Mac in the pouring rain.
Right, yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Lurker UK. Nice to see you.
Boo.
Yeah, people bouncing in here just to see me sick as a. I'm really not sick.
You're not sick. Allergies are different.
No. I. It's not that I'm sick. I got allergies, man. Allergies to dust and grain. I have no idea. I've never reacted like this before.
Well, to people just joining, I just want to remind everybody that Jim Otto is dead. He's still very much dead. So if you didn't hear the
Otto
news,
is dead. Left his name around the place. Yeah. Yeah. Poor guy.
poor
I mean,
guy.
hey, but he had a hell of a career.
He did.
Yeah. He was about as conspicuous as a center could be, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, actually, Christopher, I don't like to take Benadryl because it makes me drowsy, and you don't want to see me on there going, everybody loves somebody. So you don't want to
Dean
see me
Martin.
like you don't want to see me like that.
I didn't know you did Dean Martin. You haven't done a Dean Martin voice.
Oh God, you don't want to hear that. Yeah, you have to be like half drunk, half in the bag, and slur your words. On the other way, see, I can't even.
Can't
I
do
can't
it.
even croon.
You can't even croon. Wow.
That I can.
No.
You want to hear something funny? And I shouldn't do this.
Absolutely.
I don't have a falsetto anymore.
Wow.
Walk like a man. This is walk
Yeah.
like a man. Walk like a man. So I can't even do it.
Can't do it.
I sound like Edith Bunker.
Wow.
And it hurts to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if you saw this because
No.
Tony brought up the specter of politics, which is a no-no. Did you see the video of Donald Trump saying, well, I'm a better golfer than Joe Biden, and I've won 33 tournaments in my life?
No, but I think he's a bit like Judge Smales. You know, it was all rigged, so he won it.
He is such a fucking liar. If you would lie about that, there's nothing that you, I mean, and he does it without even blinking or pausing or, you know,
Wow.
and Biden is, you know, the halfway into dementia, and, you know, and Trump is entering the twilight zone. He too is in the early stages of dementia, but worse than that, he just makes shit up.
Did you see the painting of our king over here that makes him look like a fucking devilish vampire?
No.
This official painting of King Charles III. It's all in a red background, and it's just his head sort of floating, and it makes him look very satanic. It's unbelievable, but that's the official painting for him. So I can't believe you haven't seen it.
But as far as Christopher, tomorrow I'm getting some loratadine, also known as Claritin, and I'm going to try that. It's a less drowsy kind of thing, and we're going to try that. It is allergy medication, which I don't usually take. So we'll see if that at least takes care of some of this post-nasal drip shit. The weird part of it is that I'm dry in my nose. I was actually slightly bleeding from my nose the last couple of days. I started using saline nasal spray to moisten my nasal passages. My throat is dry, and I'm just hacking up what's dripping down my throat. So I'm going to see if I can turn the faucet off with the Claritin. We'll see.
Wow, that's weird.
Maybe I'll get some hot chocolate, you know, Everyone's a winner, baby. That's no lie.
Yeah, you sexy thing.
Yeah. All right. So I'm done.
I'm done.
I am done. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this edition of Moohead Radio. I'm going to try to keep doing this for as long as I can do it. And I hope that the environment just kind of gets a little better for me. But thanks for joining me.
Did we not mention the Cleveland Browns today?
Just once because of Polian.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, there's no Cleveland Browns news. Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
Believe me, as many loads as she takes, that doesn't surprise me.
Wow, he has an ex-girlfriend. Wow.
Now, wait a minute here. Ex-girlfriend? What proof do you have that you actually had a girlfriend? Did you stay awake?
Is it anecdotal or is this scientifically fact-based?
I don't know. Do you have a girlfriend now, Tony?
Tony?
No. Yeah, you got to stay awake, boy.
We need DG on here to quiz Tony about his sex life.
How old are you now, Tony? This is not a trick question. No, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, everything. On Saturday, I turned 67. All right.
You did.
And it's like, wow, it all goes by so fast.
Yeah.
34.
I was close.
Holy cannoli.
I said 35.
I knew this young man when he was 16, 17 years old.
And you've been grooming him ever since, haven't you?
Oh, God almighty. I mean, that's amazing. That's incredible. Well, yeah, but 67 years old, somebody came up to me and said, so you feel like you're 67? And it's like, no, I really don't. My back and neck feel like they're 67. The rest of me is good to go. That's why I was fucking Tony's ex-girlfriend. It all makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who tunes into this program and puts up with me.
All 5 of us.
Let's stick around and see what the results of what is going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers front office and JB Bickerstaff. A word might be coming down, and it may not be taking so long. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll be back again Friday. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.
No.